Start thinking about the best possible thing that can happen as a result of the internet. We are creating timelines and paving the way to solutions that already exist. Raising ourselves to a higher state of consciousness or a higher state of understanding so that we can receive higher answers. All of the answers are already given. All of the answers are already given. We are simply raising ourselves up to the timeline at which the answer is given. Hi guys, it's Nyjah. Welcome back to my channel. It's about 4 a.m. My spirit wanted to be awake at this time. Don't ask me why. So here we are. I have an intuitive message and it is about our technology. Forgive me if my energy seems low. It's 4 in the morning. Okay, I'm just going to read what I wrote and then we can elaborate. It says, technology is a privilege. We don't have to lose our permission to use technology when we remember to use it for the highest and greatest good of all involved. Just technology downloads, tech codes. That sounds so cool. Tech codes. I love this. My guides are showing me that we can create higher timelines. We can connect ourselves to the timelines where solutions exist as a result of technology, and showing me that technology is a privilege, and there has been times in the human lifespan that the technology had to be removed or taken away from the humans because the humans were misusing the technology. So they're showing me that that happens. It's kind of like a reset that happens in the human collective over periods of time, like evolutionarily speaking. Sometimes Mother Gaia, I'm not sure exactly who takes the technology, but it's like a wiping clean of the memory that we have certain technology or abilities, or we kind of toy around or play around with the idea that this type of technology exists. And the type of technology I'm talking about is, it's like new. Okay, think about like when they talk about the future and they say everything's like titanium, everything's shiny, everything's sparkly, right? But it's not just that. It's just like technology that's like hyper advanced from where we are right now. And we can probably perceive the type of technology that we're talking about. Like, for example, like flying cars could be like a cool techie awesome technology that we're meant to have, and we kind of have conscious awareness that we're meant to have it. Why? Because we can have thoughts about flying cars and how it's a thing. So basically just saying that there exists high technology, that it's super advanced and far surpasses the technology that we have today. I was just watching with a friend the other day this show called The Expanse, and it's on Amazon Prime, and essentially it's about the human civilization evolving to, I don't know, like year 3000, I don't know, and they're like humans living in the space belt, people who are born in like on Mars and blah blah blah. Okay, why am I saying all this? Watching this show, it didn't seem that far off. Like the graphics of the visuals, it felt like, yeah, it's not going to be that far in the future that we are living like this, traveling to space regularly, right? Regardless if you believe that we actually go to space or not, you know, that's neither here nor there. But I'm bringing up the show The Expanse because like in the show they had their phones that were just like clear little screens that you could see through, and they're just holding these clear devices, and in my head I'm thinking that's not far off. This all looks extremely believable. So anyway, saying this to say, the reason why we are seeing media with all this high-tech and advanced technology is because we are meant to have this high-tech and advanced technology. And I'm hearing that we have been given far greater technology than the technology that we have access to now. The problem is that humans are misusing and mistreating the technology. Therefore, what the technology we're allowed to have access to is very limited. It's trickled out very slowly because what we're using the technology for currently, it's corruptive, it's disruptive. I'm going to continue to read the downloads. There is such a thing as free Wi-Fi. I'm seeing a world where there are beings and they are connected. They don't even have to posts on social media or anything like that to update their status, to update the world on how they're doing, because their community is so collective. I'm seeing like jelly figures, like these beings are like jelly figures, and like they'll change colors depending on the energy that they have at the time. And so it's no question to the community how they feel, because you can see they're expressing themselves. They can't hide it. And that's why the community is so connected. It's like an empathic jelly being community of people, but they're not people. I don't know what these entities are, but they say they exist somewhere in the cosmos. If you think about the movie Home that like Rihanna was like a voice actor in, those little alien beings, the little purple guys, how whenever they were feeling embarrassed or happy or whatever they were feeling, their entire skin color would change to express themselves. Therefore, the entire community already knew how they were feeling. They could witness how they were feeling, and it wasn't a secret because they were so expressive. They were so free to be themselves. I feel like the reason why we are in these flesh bodies is because there is a level of hiding or concealing how we feel energetically, but they're saying there are beings, there are entities in other dimensions or other planets that they're like jelly-like beings, and they express how they feel. It might not be through color. I don't know how they express it, but they're showing me through color, and how they show it in the media to get us familiar with the idea of people just can express themselves. This was a download about the Wi-Fi though. So yes, about staying connected. We think that we have to be connected through our router and through the electricity, but the guides are saying like, no, we are the grid, we are the network, we are the web. The web, everyone's connected. We are the web. Whatever we're doing on the internet is just a manifestation of us already being connected. Okay, we would heal trauma so much faster if we would allow them to be witnessed and to not feel shame about it. So this was going back to those jelly-like beings who can, and maybe they're not jelly, they're just showing me jelly, but maybe they could just be like essence, like mist, I don't know. But like they can express themselves through color. They're saying that the traumas, the physical traumas that we have on earth as humans, we could heal so much faster from them if we weren't afraid to feel shame if other people knew that we were having these problems. Because the true problem is that we just want to be witnessed. There's something within us that needs to be seen, that needs to be loved, that needs to be coddled, that needs to be understood. And once it is understood, it can dissipate, it can heal. Okay, it's just like if somebody finds out they have cancer or something in their, like a growth or tumor in their body. What are you showing me about this? Okay, and as it's forming as like just plaque, just stored energy in the body that is beginning to be solidified. You don't know that you have this issue until it is witnessed, until you go to the doctor, or until you feel something funny and then you go to the doctor and they tell you, oh yeah, there is something here, it's been witnessed, now we can fix it. This is the same thing with our traumas, or like when we're triggered, and I don't know, just a download that came up about those jelly beings. I don't know what they're called, but you guys have seen them before. If you go Google the movie Home, the little purple dude, there is a beautiful way to use technology for the highest and greatest good of all. So this is the big download about this. There is a beautiful way to utilize the technology for the highest and greatest good of all. Meaning, there's an advanced way that we could be using the technology right now that could end all suffering. They say that the way that we're using the technology right now, it's like a bunch of like young toxic kids like just being silly on the internet. But they're saying like, you don't even understand what you have here. You have the ability to connect to anyone, anywhere, at any time. This is what creates how they say, so I asked the question, in what ways should we be using the technology? And the answer that was given was, you use the technology to heal the world. So they've just been showing me that technology, the technology that we've always had, even as simple as going from learning how to create wheels and getting more things done as a result of the creation of the wheel, when the first caveman or whoever prehistoric invented that, that technology was invented to help accelerate the expansion and creation of the human. So they're saying that technology has always been utilized for the advancement of the human. And so they're saying that if we remember that technology is a privilege and it is a resource that helps with the expansion of the human collective, that we can begin to be more respectful about how we are utilizing it, because they're saying that we can accelerate as a species if we are utilizing the technology in the correct manner. They're saying that, and I always say this, as soon as a problem is posed, the answer is given. And because we have this Wi-Fi, which again is just the web, which is the physical manifestation of the fact that we are all energetically connected, okay, we are the network. There is a beautiful way to use this technology for the highest and greatest good of all. So as soon as a problem is solved, a solution is given. Okay, so that means that any problem that exists on the world that we perceive as a problem, there's already a solution. And in fact, there are an infinite amount of solutions for that problem. The problem is, we in our head are so limited and think there's only one solution. There's infinite solutions, and the problem is when somebody tries to force their one solution on you, okay, that is going against sovereignty, okay? Start thinking about the best thing possible that can happen as a result of the internet. Okay, we are creating the timelines for solutions that already exist. I love that. We are creating timelines and paving the way to solutions that already exist. Raising ourselves to a higher state of consciousness or a higher state of understanding so that we can receive higher answers. Okay? The answers to our solutions now, like utilizing fossil fuel and like having these systems and factories, and it doesn't benefit the win-win-win, okay? Like the planet can win, the people can win, everybody can win, nobody gets screwed over. So yeah, they're saying like all of the answers are already here. We need to open our mind to, we need to raise our consciousness up to the level at which the answers reside. It's a frequency that the best possible things that can happen exist on this high frequency, this high timeline. We have to raise our consciousness up to even believe, perceive that these timelines are a possibility for us. That opens us up to be on the pathway to experience that timeline. Anything else? They're saying all the answers are already given. All the answers are already given. All the answers are already given. Even in your personal life, on your day-to-day life, all the answers are already given. All the answers are already given. We are simply raising ourselves up to the timeline at which the answer is given. Raising ourselves to the consciousness at which the answer that we desire is given. Start thinking of the best possible thing that can happen as a result of the internet. Think about everyone can be fed. Think about highest best timeline, highest possible timeline. Think about we decide that there will be no more borders and you can travel wherever you want in the world for free. Think about everybody gets free teleporting. You can teleport to anywhere in the world and it's free. No longer have to wait on buses, trains, cars, flights. You can just teleport there instantly. Thanks to the internet, thanks to the Wi-Fi, thanks to our technology, thanks to our human design. Think about the agriculture, the freshest, healthiest, juiciest fruits and vegetables are always available to us. And it's available to everybody and you don't have to pay. Thanks to the internet. Thanks to our human technology. Thanks to our intelligence. Thanks to our brilliance. Think about everybody gets to live for free, eat for free, live the life of their dreams for free, all because of human intelligence, all because of our technology, all because of the internet, all because all the answers are already given. Why wouldn't we live like that? Why wouldn't we live like that, right? This is how we want to start thinking. We are creating the neural pathways in our brain to send the energy through to ignite that path, to ignite that grid. That is how you activate that grid. Once the neurotransmitter, once the link has been made in your brain and you shoot across that energy, I'm just saying visuals. I've never researched this, okay? But I know that this is a thing. You can create new pathways in your mind when you learn something new connects, okay? So yeah, we just have to turn the grid online. That is what we're talking about when we're talking about turning the grid online. This is technology. Humans are the original technology. This is what we mean when we say turn the grid on. Simply having awareness that this technology exists for the highest and greatest good of all. Understand, we've already been utilizing this technology, but we've been utilizing it in the opposite direction. We've been letting the media and the people who run all that stuff, we've been letting them kind of guide our agenda or guide the human evolution, because we're all watching the same thing. I heard like back in like the Roman times, they made everybody go to the Colosseum and view the games because it created social, what is the word? Social relevance. Like they all experienced the same thing. We all saw the same person's head get cut off today. I don't know, like we all saw the lion. We all can relate to each other because we all saw the same thing. We can talk about the same thing. We were all there. The slaves were there, the masters were there, everybody was there. Okay, in Rome, in the Colosseum. So, said all this to say the same thing is happening when we have the televisions and we're all watching the same media, the same Netflix, the same news, the same, all of that. The same thing is happening, okay? So I'm saying that we can use our human technology in the same way, except for the highest and greatest good of all, meaning that everybody wins, and higher timelines can be birthed. When I talk about higher timelines, I'm talking about greater presence of being, greater experiences, greater, I don't know, like it's like there's no language to even describe how immaculate reality could be, so vibrant, so vivid, so spectacular on this higher, more expanded timeline. Like I'm seeing bright, vivid colors. It's like if we were eating the cleanest food that we were meant to eat. I feel like the colors that our eyes would see would just be like you're on, like, I don't know, like shrooms or a DMT or something. Like, the colors would be so bright, so vivid, so beautiful. If we were breathing in the purest quality of air, our lungs could just expand. We'd be able to hold our breath for so long. And if we were drinking the cleanest, purest quality of water, our vessels we'd never get sick. There'd never be no illness in the body. We'd just be these beautiful, magnificent, crystalline beings. Again, highest possible timeline. Understand that we have the technology to connect us to that timeline right now. All we have to do is create it in our minds first. Someone has to have the idea of something so beautiful, so amazing, that is for the win-win-win of all. And then all we have to do is share the idea with each other. The more people who understand the idea, who can see the beautiful vision of the win-win-win, that is how we anchor in heaven on earth. That is how we create it here on earth. We create it together through sharing the image with each other. Yeah. That's how we create it. That's how we create heaven on earth. That's how we anchor in the light. That's how we connect to the higher timelines. That is how we create and physicalize the human timelines, or the most divine timelines. Because I was talking to one of my friends and he was like, Nyjah, you're such an idealist. You're an idealist. You know, like, I understand we all want blah, blah, blah to happen, but I'm a realist. And that can't happen because humans are bup, 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 bup. You see how we allow ourselves to, like, we put up the wall. We're like, that can't be possible. That could never happen for us because humans are blah, blah, blah. Why don't worry about how humans are. Worry about how you can be the greatest version of yourself that you can be for the highest and greatest good of the collective, so that we can all focus on rising and raising and growing. Okay? I think I have said enough in this video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It is 5 o'clock in the morning now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling so, like, playful and lyrical now. I don't want to go back to sleep. Anyway, I'm happy I got this out. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I hope that this is not just for entertainment purposes. I really want us to come together as a community. Come together with whoever you know and utilize your time and energy being together to create the highest possible timeline. Meaning, you guys, what Kyle Cease calls finagle, meaning you talk about the greatest thing that could possibly happen. Do that together. That materializes that experience. So yeah. Okay, that is all. Bye guys.